Hello everyone. Before we go to know about the USMLE Step-1 study session which I usually follow each and every day, I would request you to go on search on YouTube the Tabrez talkies and you will find my channel. This is my channel and this is my brief intro in my words. Let's see. Not every one of us starts their USMLE journey in a big city with a fancy coaching center or elite hospitals. Some of us starts their USMLE journey in a small town, in small villages or countries where the resources are limited, but the dreams are not. Hey, I am Tabrez Adam, an international medical graduate studying MBBS in Vanaparthi Government Medical College near Hyderabad in Telangana state of India. And also I have been an alumni of USMLE Central University, New Delhi. Happily to say that these days I am preparing for the USMLE Step exams. And today I would share my strategies, which is worldwide common and being followed by many thousands of students of the USMLE. So this is all about my intro. So let's talk about the USMLE Step-1 prep timetable, which I follow while preparing for the USMLE. It's really interesting, and I'm also excited to share with you all these timetable sessions and what resources, especially I use for this long-term destinations, very difficult pathway, and also the toughest exams all over the world in medicine to go out of India. So basically, before we go to discuss about the timetable, I have taken an example of the respiratory system, and in that respiratory system, a USMLE, while you are going to prepare for it, you have to go system wise. You will have systematic approach to prepare for the step 1. So I have taken an example of the respiratory system. See, in system you will have subjects like you will have embryology, anatomy, physiology, pathology, pharmacology. Okay, and for that I have split all these subjects in how many days I'll complete. Since I am a third year student, I have already studied embryology, anatomy, physio in first year, pathology and pharmacology in second year. So for me, it's just a kind of revisions and all, and practicing is my main job while preparing for this step 1. So what I'm trying to say is that for embryology I am giving just 1 day. Okay, and I started on 18 April. For anatomy, I gave 1 day, physiology 3 days, pathology 4 days, and pharmacology 1 day. Okay, what I'm trying these days to complete these subjects is I'm using both and beyond for the concepts, and for the pathology and diseases, I'm referring pathoma, which is worldwide common. Also, I'm watching pathoma videos as well, and UWorld, I am trying to apply those concepts in diseases, and also I think the main thing, the Bible of the USMLE, that is the first aid I'm using for the final revisions. See, these are the resources for the USMLE Step 1. That for the embryology I'm using both and beyond. Okay, and anatomy, it's a really hard subject, so I'm using boot camp also for sometimes teach me anatomy, and grace and plus atlas sometimes I use for the depth of the knowledge, but not most often. I usually use boot camp, but if all this becomes hectic, then I simply refer the boards and beyond lectures. Then coming to physiology, for the physiology I go to watch the lectures of boards and beyond merely, and for pathology, obviously the pathoma, and pharmacology, sketchy pharma, that is most preferred resources for me, recommended by the USMLE qualified student as well. repeating the same, I am using Bose and Bjorn for building the concept, is a pathoma for understanding of the diseases in each systems, and UWorld for the applications of all these concepts, and first aid for the final revision. So since I have all these things, now I have made the concepts, I have the understanding of the diseases, I have applied all these things in UWorld and all. So first aid I'm using for the final revisions and annotations as well. Okay, what I do actually while preparing, I have made this a schedule, I would say timetable, to prepare for the USMLE, and I use it daily. What I do, I wake up early in the morning, and from 6 to 8 a.m. actually I execute these USMLE study sessions. So for 15 minutes, whatever I have studied previously, I try to revise. Whatever were difficult for me to remember on all, accordingly I try to revise those concepts, those review and all. Then I practice 20 minutes UWorld, and for 20 minutes what I do, I select 10 to 15 questions from the UWorld, and where these URLs are available, I'll show you as well. Okay, and then I review those questions, 10 to 15 questions, whatever I am practicing in UWorld. I try to review whether the questions were correct or incorrect, is why the questions were incorrect, is okay, and what was the trick actually I applied while solving the questions, what are the explanations and all. Through the with the help of the explanations, I come to annotate, and then after annotations, what I do, I come for the conceptual self study. And for the self study, as I told you, I use boards and beyond, I use Pathoma and SKG Pharma and all. Okay, and for that I build up the concept. So this is my daily schedule. So to be very frank, I use three things, or three to five things alternatively, or sometimes I integrate, and sometimes final for the final revisions and all, I just use the first aid. Okay, and most preferably for the pathology, I use the pathoma. Now I would show you, okay, from where I am studying all those things. So I try to show you. You would be knowing about the, what do we say, have you listened about the IMD, which is which is working on the Iranian server and all. I show you, just wait. So when you will search on Google, you will find IMD resources. Okay, this is the IMD resources. Just I'm trying to tell you, please try to get my point, that this is only the resources I'm using. Okay, so IMD medical resources, it is an international platforms where multiples of, I would say, thousands and lakhs of USMLE aspirants, they try to go for the IMD. Actually, it is very cheap, and 6 months subscriptions is buyable. Only available at $50. 1 year subscription $75. 2 year subscriptions $150. Okay, so you can buy, even you can extend IMD, and it is available. IMD is available on Android, on Windows, Chromes and all. You can use anywhere. So I have bought the IMD, and I'm using the IMD. For details, I will be uploading a new video about the resources of the IMD. So actually, for any delay, I would like to go to the IMD resources which I am using. So just give me a certain period of time. So this is the IMD. So what I do in IMD, for USMLE revision. So this is first aid. This is first aid. Okay, and in first aid, if like this is respiratory system, so I go for the respiratory system. I think in this would be in below. So in respiratory system, like if I'm reading right now the physiology, so in physiology I am going to the hypoxemia. There is a concept, yeah, hypoxia and hypoxemia. So this is the first aid actually. So in first aid, what I do, I revise all these things. Okay, whatever, since I have studied already, so I do daily revisions. So this is the revision part which I do, which I usually each and every day I do 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, now I will tell you how do I go for the USMLE UWorld practice. I show you where it is. This see, this is UWorld. So what I do, since I have studied the anatomy, biochemistry, embryology, histology of many systems, so what I do, I select the systems, okay, and in systems, if possible, I go for the topics like male I have studied, female I have studied. So in all those, I go for that general principles of pathology, general principles of microbiology, and all I have studied. So all these systems and topics you can select. So, okay, what you can do, if you have use the questions, you can't go for that, and if you have if you wish, you can go for that as well, but mostly I use unused questions. Okay, so actually according to that, in UWorld, I am finding that there are 689 questions. So what I do, I do not go for the 100 689 questions. Rather, I select just 10 questions, or sometimes 15 questions. See, so I have selected so many questions, 15 questions. Okay, and then I'll go for the 15 questions in the timer one. So see, time has this is the U world. This is the U world questions. Okay, so time has started already. See, this is the time you can watch on the T. So time has started for 15 minutes. Sorry, 20 minutes. I'll practice this 15 questions. Okay, you can see anything like that. Okay, so what I will do, I select the questions after reading the questions and options, and after reading the questions, I will go for the next, and this will go like that. Okay, whatever clue I will find, I'll accordingly select the questions and all. Okay, and answer will be there. So at the end, so this is the questions, you can understand the level of the USMLE questions. See how much hard it is. After observing the scanning and all, you will have to go and answer the questions. So this is questions. This question is based on histology. If you are good in histology, you will be able to answer the questions. And also, many questions will be lengthy, and also laboratory finding based questions. And on the basis of that, you should answer the UWorld questions. Yeah, this is also pathology questions based on the gross anatomy and all. So in this way, what I do, I practice for 20 minutes. How many minutes? UWorld I practice almost 20 minutes. Okay, then I go for the then I end the test after 20 minutes. Okay, so since I have not attempted correctly, I agree. So the questions has been wrong. So whatever the questions come from the topics have been given. That these questions are coming from NSI topic, interstitial lung disease, posterior urethral wall, chronic kidney disease, vesicoureteral reflux, epididymitis, any acid deficiency in ovarian, renal, and all. So accordingly, I can know from which topic the questions has come, like aminoglycoside, bladders, pelvic organ prolapse, and also these are the topics from the questions came. Okay, and also they have told that from whatever questions you have selected, 15 questions, they have come from the pathology, embryology, and physiology. What system I selected, they have also shown that the renal, urinary systems, and alveoli, pulmonary criticals, and all. So now I will come to show you the explanation part. Like if this is clinic, I would say, okay, it was a kind of um, system based approach, so I can select any questions. Okay, let me go for the first question. Okay, it was correct. So this is the explanation. I have practiced now. Now coming to the next section, that is the you will review. And so for 10 minutes, I'll read the explanation. Okay, I'll read the explanation and I'll try to know much more about the questions. Okay, so these are all the explanations. They will tell why the first questions were right, and why the choice B, choice C, choice D, and E were wrong. What are the educational objective of the questions? They tell like that. Okay, even the diagrammatic approach is there. You can go and read the explanations with the help of the diagram as well. Okay, so in that way, I try to read the explanations as well and see whatever is the important point is okay here. So what I do, I important point, I try to go to the open the first aid, and there I integrate these concepts wherever the topic it is. Either I integrate or either I annotate. Okay, sometimes I use the flashcards as well. Okay, to remember. Sometimes I go for the Enki card as well. So Enki cards and flashcards, this all help me to integrate or annotate the first aid. Also sometimes to revise. Okay, so after all these things, I go for the conceptual study. Now I'll show how do I do the conceptual study. See, this is USMLE Rex. You would be knowing better if you are in this field, and also this is flashcards. Uh, I do use flashcards for the revision. Okay, so I'll show you from where I do the conceptual study. See, this is the boards and beyond. So in boards and beyonds, what I do, I go and study the embryology, anatomy, like I'm going to system wise. So I'll open pulmonary system or respiratory system. In respiratory system, you see embryology, anatomy, physio, obstructive and destructive disease means pathoma has given, other pulmonary topics means pharmacology have been given. So I go and study the embryology and all. Okay, so this embryology, anatomy, physio all together is given. So what I do, I watch the video. Like I'll show you some example. So as the next topic which I will study the carbon
Hello
dioxide.
everyone and welcome to our module on carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a gas and it's produced by cellular metabolism with
You getting my point?
photons.
So I
Deoxyhemoglobin buff.
in this way I watch the lectures in Bows and Beyond, and I try to build up my concepts and integrate in the UWorld accordingly. In first aid accordingly. Okay, and if after finishing all this embryology and so for sometimes I go for the Dr. Najib lecture as well. Dr. Najib is very famous. So whenever I feel that I am feeling in weak in in anatomy sometimes, so I go and study this anatomy from the Dr. Najib lectures. I have not downloaded, but I'll download when I will need to study. Okay, and what I do for the pathology, I go for the pathoma, Dr. Hassan Mukhtar. So pathoma is there. So whatever is the topic I will be studying, I try to go for the diseases and all in pathoma. Okay, since it is getting downloaded, it will not take much more time. So most of the times I download, but if internet connection is poor, I go to the network area and then I download and come back to the study. So this is Hassan.
Okay, welcome to the chapter on breast pathology. The very first are the lobules that make milk.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm studying the respiratory, so I should open the respiratory part. No problem. Like, let me open the Pluto part. Okay, so it is getting downloaded. It's fastly getting downloaded. Yeah. So
Okay, the last section of this chapter deals with the pleura. Let's remind ourselves that if this is the lung, they're attached to the lung is something called the visceral pleura. And this then folds over, and when it folds over, it attaches to the chest wall, and here we call it the parietal pleura. So again, there's a parietal pleura and a visceral pleura. In between that is the pleural space. Now remember that both the parietal pleura and the visceral pleura are lined by mesothelial cells. The mesothelial cells produce a fluid that helps to lubricate the pleural space to fill a part and other with exposure to asbestos. It presents with recurrent pleural effusion.
So this is how I study the pathoma and all. Okay, so like for fast revision, there is also another lecture which I watch, that is the USMLE Rex. Like it is the lecture of first aid. Whatever is given in the first aid, it is the brief video of that. Like if I want to study the in physiology hypoxemia, okay, so I'll come and download the hypoxemia part wherever it is given. Like this is here. Okay, so it is getting downloaded. It will not take much more times. Usually it takes seconds to download. Okay, now it is downloaded. So what I'll go for the hypoxemia.
Hey.
So actually he is Ahmed Al Jamal, who is a professor at Al Faisal University College of Medicines in US. Okay, so actually for short revision, or I would say fast revision, whenever I need to revise, then I come for the USMLE Rex. Like this is oxygen deprivations. We will explain the hypoxemia.
Hey everyone, Ahmed here. Today we'll be talking about oxygen deficit content in the artery, breathing. As for obesity, excess osteoalveolar, or iron deficiency anemia, most likely secondary to blood loss. In addition to the problem with the arteries, but it can also be
the best part of the USMLE Rex is that after explaining much more things, they come for the questions as well. Like, see, there will be a questions. I think they would have been asking.
Ischemia is caused by a loss of blood flow to particular.
Okay, so in this way, I try to implement all those timetable sessions, resources, which video lectures and all, and I try to study. Okay, so lastly, I would like to say that USMLE is really a long journey. Becoming disciplined, consistent, and also honest and daily dedicated to the preparations. What makes this long journey easily accessible and achievable as well. And I'm sure whosoever is here to prepare for the USMLE, they will be following their own timetables and all. This was my timetable, which I usually follow daily. And request everyone, if this timetable is really realistic, then please appreciate and subscribe the channel as well. As I have shown you, the YouTube channel of mine is again, that is Tabrez, the Tabrez
Not
topics.
everyone efforts.
Okay, that is, you go and search the Tabrez topics and subscribe, please. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for the patience. Keep watching my YouTube channel, keep visiting, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much.